Lyrics and Lies, Money Green, Shayz on the mic.
All right. What about Kevin Hart and Katt Williams?
Kevin Hart and Katt. That's what we doing first?
Or you wanted to do
Kevin? No, it's whatever you have. Whatever you have.
Katt and Kev.
If you want to do Katt and Kev.
Katt and Kev.
So, first things first, let's get this out the way because I saw the video of Katt Williams walking as he held his phone and he's talking major trash to Kevin Hart. And so y'all done got Katt pissed off, and I think you're part of the problem too, because you've been talking trash, talking about something Kevin Hart better than Katt Williams. Didn't you say that?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay, that wasn't
you got it from some other fans.
All right, because well, whoever did that, y'all done got Katt. Y'all done got Katt, man. I'm telling y'all, Katt ain't playing with y'all. What do you think his issue is? I think I have a good understanding of where he's coming from.
Well, from the first, I mean, Katt has had problems with people anyway. He voices his opinion about how he feels about everybody anyway. That's what he does. I don't know if sometimes I'm not sure if he's just trying to drum up this so he can have the controversy. So, you know, as we have controversy, we love for other people to talk about it. So I don't know if part of it is him just want to be Katt Williams and want us to talk about it, or he's mad about missed situations that he could have did before. That's what I see. From I'm gonna say
that's what you heard. I'm gonna say from Kevin Hart.
No, I'm not gonna say that. But guess what? Katt Williams has said some stuff about his own self. If you check some of his YouTubes that he has put out there. That's what Kevin said in the Breakfast Club. Kevin said Katt missed my opportunity. He's mad. It ain't his fault. I mean, that's what you piggybacking on. You don't think he's missed some opportunities because of some stuff that he's done to himself? So are you saying you're taking Kevin Hart's side? I'm not taking Kevin Hart's side, but there are some things that Kevin Hart said you got to think about of some things that Katt Williams has done to himself like over the time before. Because he talked about like he was on all these drugs. Now, if you consider weed, marijuana, cannabis sativa, hydro, weed, Bobby Brown, if you consider all that drugs, okay, we'll do that. But it sounded like he was talking about something heavier and harder. I don't know, and I'm not sure. That's how he implied, but I'm not sure if Kevin has documentation or he has anything to back that up. I'm sure he does. But everything else that he was talking about, where he was like, "You can Google it. You can Google it. Like what? Like what?" Now, I had questions too about some of the stuff that Katt Williams had said when he was on one of the radio stations about how he made his money. No, but talk about Kevin. You started off talking about Kevin. Don't try to jump. I didn't start talking about Kevin. You asked the question. You went back to Katt. You stick to Kevin because you supposed to back up Kevin. You want me to back up Kevin? You took Kevin's side. You just said you took Kevin's side. I said Kevin made a point. Well, what's the point he made? He made a point that there were some missed opportunities that Katt could have capitalized on that he did not. We passed that. That's what I'm saying. He said that's because of drugs. But then you try to say his numbers were off according to Kevin Hart. I didn't say his numbers was off. I said that Kevin Hart said that it can be Googled. The way he makes his money can be Googled and found to be inaccurate. I didn't say that part. I just said Google. That's what you're saying. Yeah, okay, his numbers can be Googled, but they can be true. But Kevin said it inaccurate. And it's basically saying either Katt is delusional or he's a liar. That's basically what Kevin's saying. So you must be on Katt's side because you must know a lot about if Katt stuff is real or not. If you said Kevin didn't present any numbers or any documentation. He didn't present any documentations on the marijuana part. He just said you can go to Google and Google numbers. He said you can. He said you have to do your research. Yeah, but how you gonna research that? Because numbers don't always represent the information that you're looking for.
So if Katt said he made a certain amount from a special, the way Kevin seemed to interpret it was that's how much he was paid to do the special, or that's how much the special was bought. Whereas Katt could be talking about the total amount he got from a particular special, which could mean the gate, how much money he brought in for ticket sales, in addition to how much he licensed it out to different networks or streaming services, and it could mean residuals. If you put all that together, you can get a different number than what you would for just selling it to a station or to a streaming service. So we don't know what number he's talking about. It's tricky.
And what you said is tricky is true about being tricky, because Katt said something different on the radio station where he was on. Well, who was that? Frank Ski.
See, now that's supposed to be a whole different thing. Now you jumping topics and everything.
No, we're not going to that. What do you say? I'm just using a smidget from that. What I'm saying is, he was saying that how he made his money was by the ticket sales.
How he made his, you mean Netflix money?
The Netflix money was by the ticket sales.
Right.
Correct?
And Netflix pays you according to what your gate is.
Right.
Right.
So then Mr. Hart said that couldn't be right.
And that may not be right.
And it couldn't be correct because, well, how he broke it down, like no one could have made that kind of money, and that money has not been made since your boy Eddie Murphy.
Right, but it sounded like Katt said he brought in that much, like $1 million or $2 million, and
that was 1.4 million or something.
No, but he was talking about seats, tickets sold, and Kevin was saying that's impossible to bring in that many seats. Beyonce and Jay-Z or whatever didn't even bring that many seats or whatever. So you have a difference between, is he talking about tickets sold or is he talking about the amount of money that came in? Because if you put a dollar amount on the amount of seats, your numbers can be totally off. So who knows what Katt meant? Who knows if he was just bloviating or just running off at the mouth? But I tell you this, it sounded good. It sounded good. The way he ran down those numbers, and I sold 2 million tickets to such and such, and then such and such, and that's what Netflix goes by, and that's what Monique doesn't understand. When she was having problems with Netflix at the same time, I was signing a contract for $2 million. And then I turned around and got 300,000 in Jacksonville and sold that special. And he was going. It sounded good.
It did.
It sounded good.
It did. And everybody kept on going on Monique a little bit. But that Monique thing is a separate subject.
Yeah, but okay. I think the real issue is this, because whether Katt's numbers or Kevin's numbers are accurate, one of their numbers are off, or one of them have false data or whatever. One has false data. But I think it boils down to this. Katt Williams is, I have to be careful with my words, but I think he's a purist when it comes to comedy. And I think he studied the greats and he's come out with his own style or what have you. And he gets on stage and he really does a whole bunch of wild stuff and says a lot of wild things and some thought-provoking things. But he's a purist. Whereas I believe Kevin Hart really pimped or learned or mastered. I'm going to say mastered.
His craft.
He mastered, his craft, I think, is pretty easy. The way he does it. But he mastered, right, his style. But he mastered social media. And I think that's where the juxtaposition, you like that? I think that's where the divide is, or where the tension is, because Katt doesn't respect Kevin, because Kevin is a social media type comedian.
But Kevin respects him.
I have all these followers, and They love me on Instagram. They love me on Facebook. They love me on Twitter. And then I tell them to come to my shows, and they come to my shows. And I think Katt is saying, no, if you funny, they come to your shows. What's all this other shit you got to do? You adding all this other stuff that you got to do, and you got to do this parade.
But you need to do that. You have to do that to drum up everybody. I think, to me, everybody has their own way of doing stuff. The thing is that each of these comedians need to respect how each person does the way they do it. Kevin is really doing this for the younger crowd. The younger crowd is on Facebook, is on Twitter, is on Instagram. That's where he's gearing and viewing all his stuff to, is to the kids who respect that social media platform. That's the platform that he's gauging. Katt Williams is a little older, and not saying that he's not doing it, but he has to do it the way that works for him. But in that, why do you have to talk? Why do you have to downplay each other when it's enough money in this comedic world, or in this for both of them? Why do you have to knock somebody down or talk about somebody? Just like, he mentioned Tiffany in this. Tiffany ain't said nothing about Katt, but he put it in there. But this, which to Katt's entourage of people, which I think. And this is a joke that people were saying that I've heard, that half the people they haven't heard of, except, what's his name, Red Cup Boys. Red, that's probably it. Everybody, but I've heard
Red Grant or Red
Grant. Miss Red Grant, I've heard of what's her name, Miss Melanie Camacho. Melanie Camacho, I've heard of her. And Laurel, is her name Miss Laurel? Miss Laurel? Miss Laurel. Right, Miss Laurel. Let me correct myself, Miss Laurel. But, what are they doing?
They doing a lot, but that's not the point, because
that's the way they do it.
Because you jumped on two different things. You got to jump on the first one first. Katt does not have the respect what Kevin does, and they're not. Hold on. And their ages, they aren't far apart in age, but
their style differs.
When people came out with auto-tunes, and people really started pimping auto-tunes, everybody said, I'm going to rap auto-tunes, I'm going to sing auto-tunes. Pure rappers and regular pure vocalists and R&B singers were like, what is this dumb stuff? We don't want to hear all this auto. They can't sing. That's what the problem is. That's how Katt is looking at Kevin. So it would be nice. Hold on. It would be nice. Spin on it. No, it would be nice if you say, you know what? That's his thing. That's cool. He wants to do his social media thing, and all right, that's cool. We're going to stay over here and we're going to do it this way, because I think this way is better. It would be cool if he said that, but he doesn't. And that's also his prerogative. He doesn't have to respect what somebody else does, even if they are doing it in a major way. Nobody did. So Kevin has basically turned into, because I think the 90s we didn't have an Eddie Murphy. So the 70s and early 80s you had Richard Pryor, was like the comedian. The 80s,
Red Fox.
No, ain't no dang on Red Fox.
What was Red Fox? No. When you was talking about
Red Fox in the 60s,
right? That's what I'm saying. You didn't mention him.
But no, we started Richard. But up to that point, stand-up comedy was just stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedians were stand-up comedians. Richard Pryor was number one, but he was still just a stand-up comedian. But he just really hit home and crushed everybody when it was taken to a higher level and became more public. But you could say more stuff in public and curse and all this kind of stuff. A lot of stuff they really weren't doing a whole bunch in the 50s and 60s. Anyway, when Ed came along, he took Richard Pryor to another level, because Ed turned stand-up comedy into took you from being clowned or looking like clowns or being laughed at or just being the regular common person. He took it to rock star status. So Ed was huge from about 84 up until the early 90s. Ed was major. He was like a rock star. And he turned stand-up comedy into looking like sex symbols. With his leather suits, and all the women would scream for him and everything like that. In the 90s, we didn't have that. All we had in the 90s, which was major, was the kings of comedy. But, they were dressed, they were more like businessmen.
We had a few of them.
Yeah, but everybody else, nobody hit that rock star status like Ed.
They didn't.
Not until Kevin Hart came, and Kevin Hart struggled through the 2000s. But he hit in the 2010s, and he's hitting with that rock star status. fire and everything on stage. She's doing these major shows in arenas, and he's destroying everything on that tip. And that could also rub some people the wrong way, because they're saying you didn't get it the right way. But there is no right or wrong way.
Whatever your formula is.
The right way is whatever way you want to do it, and whatever way you find success in. That's what's the right way.
Your formula.
But Katt and anybody else are entitled to say, but I don't like your way, and F you.
That's okay, but figure out what your way is so that you can come up on the come up.
Katt doing this thing, and Katt's been doing this thing, and he's been doing this thing longer than Kevin. As you heard, he has 20 comedies, and he has 17 more comedies than Kevin Hart has. But he made some points about who Kevin put on and who he hasn't put on. So he's saying all these years, there's Red Cup Boys and all this kind of stuff he's done. He's never really put anybody on. And I've heard other comedians say that about him.
Well, he helped Rail out, and he's helping Tiffany out.
Kevin Hart put out who?
He's helping Rail.
Who is Rail?
You don't know Rail?
Little Rail.
Little Rail.
Little Rail. Okay, I'm not going to critique Mr. Hart, but Tiffany had already been out.
Yeah, Tiffany had been out.
Tiffany been out since and Katt was writing that part. She's been out since the late 90s.
Yeah.
So
she was in little movies here and there.
He didn't necessarily put her on, and then she hit hard with Girls Trip, which Kevin had nothing to do with.
No, but she had. Kevin was like a mentor to her. Though
a whole bunch of people like mentors to her.
Well, she always mentioned him a lot because when she was on rock bottom too, there was a couple of places that he helped her out in.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't got to put her. He gave her $300 one time, but there were other people that looked out for it. It's just that Kevin's the one in the spotlight that they always seem to talk about. But I don't think he was a mentor or anything. He just looked out for him one time and gave her some kind words.
Go see Night School.
Yeah, he gave her some kind words, but like when Kevin was throwing around names like Leslie Jones and he helped all these people, you heard what Leslie said. Because remember Leslie?
I thought Leslie wasn't somebody he helped. I thought it was Katt.
She said he's Kevin Hart, I think, threw Leslie's name out there. But
he didn't throw it out like he helped her out.
But Leslie would, neither one of them would. She said Katt always looked out for her, and he took her on tour. He took her out on tour with him. But she said Chris Rock helped her more than anybody else as far as black comedians go. But I remember she was doing her thing back in the 90s.
Yeah,
on BET Comic View. She came up, and you can tell she was hustling hard to do her thing. And then she finally got on Ghostbusters and Saturday Night Live or whatever. Mm-hmm. Leslie has her thing. She can do her thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you may not like her comedy, and some people.
It's not for me.
Yeah, but some
I'm
people.
not going to bash her though.
Well, Katt Katt didn't bash her.
Well, he didn't bash her, but he's bashed people.
She told them. She said, "Y'all keep my name out y'all mouth unless y'all licking this pussy." Oh, gosh. Did you hear her say that?
No, I didn't listen to that.
That made me intrigued. I'm like, let's see how that look. Katt Williams or Kevin Hart doing that to her. That's a pay-per-view I'd be interested in seeing.
We're gonna move on from that.
Do that concert, Kevin Hart but that brings me to another topic: is if them two having to do that at the same time, but going by, they would have to fight.
I don't know if anybody got that.
They would have to fight. Right. They would have to fight for position, which leads us back to the video when Katt was talking about, "I will knock your motherfucking mouth sideways." If them two were to fight and really get down with it, I don't know what's going to go. What you think go down? Because I know Kevin Hart does a lot of push-ups.
He works out a lot.
But Katt Williams is fast.
I don't know, but all you got to do is pull that hair.
Yeah, but if Kevin was manly, he ain't going to pull his hair.
If it has to come down to it, he might.
He shouldn't do that.
He shouldn't, but it could happen.
But Katt, now see, and a lot of people keep saying things, talking trash about Katt.
I don't know, because Katt let that little boy beat him up.
But yeah, people been saying that, but he wasn't expecting that. You don't want to expect a little boy to break out on you.
Come on.
No, but see, like I say,
come on, Monty Green.
Katt is old school. Katt is saying, let's box, let's fight like men. But the new school, young kids, they're like, no, I'm going to choke you. I'm gonna get you around the neck, and I'm gonna get your legs in the lock, and I'm gonna lock your arm. And Katt like, what happened to the boxing? We supposed to be fighting. What's up with that? So as long as Kevin doesn't grapple and do any MMA stuff on Katt, who you got in the boxing match? Because I got gloves. I got 2 pair of gloves.
I think Kevin will give him a run for his money.
Now, who you think gonna win?
I'll go with Kevin.
You think Kevin will beat?
I think Kevin will win.
Damn.
Because Kevin be working it out. Kevin be working out every morning.
Well, who? And I think you're right. I think Kevin will get him. I think Katt is so mad. I don't know. I think you had to knock Katt out because Katt's so mad at Kevin right now. But on stage, who's gonna win? In comedy,
they got 2 different styles.
Exactly, but one of them gonna make you laugh, one other. So don't be scared. Don't be scared to put it out there. Who you think gonna win? Who is gonna win 1-on-1? Both are funny. Who's gonna win on stage, Katt or Kevin?
And I've seen both. I haven't seen the Irresponsible tour, so
you saw all the other tours. Kevin Hart got like 5, 6, 7 specials.
I mean, I Katt Williams do make me laugh. I have to give Katt. He does. He is funny.
But he's a little funnier than Kevin.
He's just a little
At least a little bit.
Just a little bit. Okay. But Kevin, I love Kevin. Kevin makes me laugh too.
And can anybody see you do the little hand gesture?
That's okay. You can hear it.
They hear it. They probably did.
You hear it. You heard it.
Your nails matching your shirt. That's a good. You did a good job with that. But yeah, I'm rolling with Katt. I think Katt gets him on stage. But Kevin has that lovable personality.
That appeal.
But that puts people in them seats. Because his reviews for this last show weren't good.
The Irresistible tour?
Right, Irresponsible. But
I don't know why I say irresistible. Because he's irresistible.
But people,
that's it.
But people love Kevin. Now I love Kevin in movies. I think his movies, his personality and what he does in movies is much funnier than what he does on stage.
So have you seen the latest movie?
I saw the latest movie.
Was it pretty good?
Not to me. Okay, it was a good pop movie.
How many stars would you give?
Hold on, it's actually a great pop movie.
Okay.
I think it's like a PG-13 movie. So I think if I were,
because he wanted all the families, he wanted the family to go.
I don't think people will bring their not below 13, but I think like a 13, 14, 15-year-old, they would really enjoy what they did.
So I could take my son.
Yes, and that would be a good experiment to see if he likes it and see if he actually laughs out loud. I judge a movie by how much I smile and then how much I laugh out loud. And then some things are too funny to laugh at. You say, "So that was funny damn, that was funny," but you don't really laugh. But you're really impressed with the humor. Mm-hmm. With Night School, I didn't laugh out loud at all. I smiled a couple of times. But it's a great pop movie. So I can just leave it at that. Well,
and this is the first one under his production.
And a great matinee movie. Okay. Great matinee movie.
So we should be leaving shortly. It's like, now I'm
playing. You can't, you pay your $5 to see it, it's all good.
Okay.
But $12 and then 2 people, so $24, and popcorn takes you up to $31, then sodas, 2 sodas take you up to $51, and chicken strips or whatever. So and then you watch that movie, you be like, man, I hope you give it up after this, because I spent a lot of money and I ain't even really sure I'm gonna get something after what I saw on the screen. He ain't make her laugh either. But there was one woman in the theater, because it was a packed house. There was one woman in the theater that thought it was fun. It was like 2 or 3 parts. She just died, and way after the part, she was still laughing. So, it's a good pop movie.
So, what would you give it?
As far as pop, on a scale from 1 to 10, it's a 10 for a pop movie. Personally, it was probably about a 6.5 to me.
That's not too bad. It did go over
5.
It went over 5.
Oh, 5 is just downright terrible.
Yeah. So
but they had a good storyline and everything, but I think there were a lot of jokes left on the table. Tiffany Haddish, they didn't have a lot of good jokes for her. And
well, she got some more movies coming out.
Yeah,
she got 2 more movies coming out.
Well,
we'll see how that goes.
All right.
Yeah, she got 2 more movies coming out in 2019.
She got another one coming out this year.
Yeah, this year, and then 2 more is in 2019. So she got 3. She actually got more than that.
Well, I ain't gonna see.
But we're just gonna talk about the 3 right now. She got 3 of them coming out.
I ain't gonna see some of them, but I know I'm gonna see one with Anika, the woman from the Have and Have Nots, Tika Sumter. Yeah, I'm gonna go see that one.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna see that one too.
And that might be the only one. All these other ones, they keep pairing her up with and being married to white men, and a whole white cast. I'm like, what is? But anyway, when you're the it person and they suck you in like that, that's just how it happens, I guess.
When everybody has to have their 15 minutes of fame.
Well, hopefully she gets way more than 15.
Well, that's the saying. So, just going with the saying. So, what we found out from this is that in a fight, Kevin Hart hands down will win, but on the stage,
in the fist fight,
right on the stage, Katt got it.
And I also think that even if Kevin Hart does win, he'll walk away with his mouth twisted sideways. Because Katt can get that. Because
Katt at least wants to do that.
Since Katt didn't say he would win, Katt said he's gonna knock your motherfucking mouth sideways. So he can do that and still come out to be truthful. Money Green, catch me on IG, but at Between My Sheets.
I thought she was gonna say it for me this time.
Shayz on the mic. That's Shayz with a Z. So we should just say _ between each word. And this is another episode of Lyrics and Lies. If you enjoy us, press that subscribe button. If you love us, press that subscribe button. And
share.
You can share it too. And we're gonna come at y'all with some more stuff.